My name is Caro Howell and I'm the director of the Foundling Museum. The Foundling Museum tells the story of the Foundling Hospital, which was the UK's first children's charity and also its first public art gallery. And the Foundling Hospital was established in 1739 as a home for babies who would otherwise have been abandoned on the streets of London. They would have been called foundlings, which is where the name originated. The children's charity continues today as the adoption charity Coram, and we, the museum, show the remarkable collection of art which was donated in the 18th century by painters and sculptors and plasterers and carvers, amazing range of work. It was William Hogarth, his idea to, in a sense, use art as a way of bringing people to the building. This was a huge draw to people. So the art that lines the wall are by some of the great artists of the 18th century. So you have 21-year-old Thomas Gainsborough, Joshua Reynolds, Thomas Hudson, Alan Ramsey. It's really the beginnings of the British art world as we understand it today. We also show an extraordinary collection of archive objects from the 18th century that tell the story of the life of the hospital and the foundlings themselves. And amongst these are tiny little everyday objects that mothers left with their babies as a way of identifying them because their names were changed when they came into the hospital. So she would leave with her children something as simple as a nut, little bits of jewellery, a pot of rouge, a spyglass. We have the children's uniforms, the cutlery that they used in the dining room, one of the beds from the hospital. These are incredibly poignant objects that really reveal everyday lives in the 18th century. In the picture gallery is Hogarth's great painting of Thomas Coram. It's one of the greatest portraits he ever painted. It shows Thomas Coram, the great philanthropist whose idea it was to set up the hospital, who had to campaign for over 17 years to get permission to set the hospital up. All the other men in the room, who are all governors, are very smartly dressed with their full wigs on. And Coram was a shipbuilder by trade, and he's got his ruddy sea and sun-blasted face. His feet don't quite touch the floor. He's got his trademark red, slightly scruffy coat on, and it's a fantastic painting of a man of extraordinary moral integrity. In the 18th century, if you wanted to set up a charity, you needed the permission of the king. So he needed all of the great and the good to sign petitions to say that they were behind this cause and put it to the attention of the king so that he would grant what's called a royal charter. George II, by the grace of God. And if you look at the portrait of Thomas Coram upstairs in the picture gallery, this is what he's holding in his hand. The charter is on the table and he's holding in his hand the Great Seal. And it's a wonderful testament to 17 years of campaigning, to not giving up, to eventually getting public opinion behind you.